I'm just going to come out and say, you ever feel like you're invisible? I mean, me too. This Congress has not done anything that benefits me since it fell under Republican control. And I'm sorry, JFK, but after 9 years in the military and 3.5 years of enduring Joe Biden, giving everything to everyone else, I get to ask not what I can do for my country, but I want to know what my country can do for me. I've been paying taxes for years. We have an entire party that seems to hate this country. And when I ask for something, they look at me like I'm from Mars. We have people chanting death to our ally in the streets, and yet we continue to fund universities with taxpayer money that seemingly condone this. This hatred towards the Jewish community is akin to Nazi Germany pre-World War II. And we're the Democrats in mass condemning this. They're the party that's, oh, hate has no home here. The same party that called Donald Trump a fascist. Nowhere. We have fentanyl pouring through our borders, and Senate Democrats won't even take up Mayorkas impeachment. They'll put up fencing around the Capitol and only give stupid little signs that say gun-free zones to our children at their schools. Just the same standard of protection. That's all I'm asking for all Americans. That's all I want. We fund border walls in Egypt, ironically enough, that goes to keeping the people from Gaza out of their country. But this administration, sure, we want to take them in here, no problem. We'll give them legal status, too. We fund border walls in Jordan, Lebanon, Oman, Tunisia, but here in America, no. In fact, we spend money to keep the border open. Well, I should say we. Joe Biden spends money to keep the border open. Arizona built a shipping wall container. Biden sued him to take it down. Texas put up buoys in the water and razor wire, and Biden sued to take it down. Texas passed another law to detain illegals using state resources. Biden sued him to block it. Who do these Democrats actually represent? Some Republicans, actually, too. You want to know something totally crazy? We have 4 times as many IRS agents as we do border agents. You mad yet? No one is dying from tax evasion like they are from fentanyl coming across the border. But hey, let's fund another 87,000 TI-84 calculator-wielding bureaucrats anyway. That should be great. Because our government is more concerned about funding itself and its pet projects than taking care of the people like you and I who support it. I mean, do you guys feel like you're taking crazy pills? You're not. Our government is just living in their own little island of ideas funded by you and me. I had a conversation with a good friend of mine who is a member of Congress this week, and I'm not going to say his name, but I was like, dude, can we please just stop everything in its tracks until we get some concessions from the Democrats on just some of our party priorities? Well, Carl, it's more complicated than that, and blah, blah, blah. Basically, trying to explain to me why they have to do things like this to, just clouding the issue. 3 minutes went by, I was like, I have no idea what you just said. Honestly, I just lost it. I told my friends, like, stop telling me I don't understand. Explain your position to me like you have to put it on a bumper sticker. And I was like, look, I'll go first. Do things our way or shut it down. I mean, here's another one, and this one might be taken, but America first? I got the same response. Oh, Carl, you got to understand, in D.C. things are different. It's a little complicated to explain. And then they rush to the nearest camera to scold you and I. And then they tell us stuff like, oh, history will judge you. Well, I'm judging you now, Mr. Congressman, because we may be history if we keep this stuff up. And this is like 95% of Congress, regardless of the problem. They believe what they believe, and when anyone like you or I goes to them and disagrees with them, they just endlessly pontificate in the same circle. No, your job is to listen to us, not explain things to us. Representative. You're there to represent me. You think Congress represents you? First, you think they do? Go. Try to get a meeting with your congressman. See how long that takes. You want to see the dance I'm talking about? And if you do get a meeting with them, ask them this. Hey, where's all that money I paid into Social Security? Will I get it all back? Ooh, yeah, that's going to be a tough one. They're going to say, oh, well, we spent that on other stuff. Sorry. Best I can do is ban TikTok. Congress is in charge of all of the funding of this country. Here is a list of things that I want to see funded before, I don't know, we give another $518,000 to study how cocaine affects the sexual habits of a Japanese quail. How about we fix the VA? Open more public lands to drill for oil. Maybe pay down our debt a little bit. Update our biblically outdated power grid. Let's keep squatters the hell out of our homes. Invest in fusion and hydrogen and actual alternatives for energy sources that work. Just some ideas. While you're at it, I don't know, maybe fix my roads and bridges and keep trains from derailing, and stop giving money and tax breaks to universities with billions of dollars in their endowment that bar Jews from entering buildings. But no. Best they can do is terminate Title IX so men pretending to be women can throttle our nation's daughters on the playing field. Hey, you shut up, peasant. Pay your taxes so they can pay 90 grand for a bag of washers.
How much do you think the Air Force pays for this bag of bushings?
I don't know, Congressman.
$90,000. This is a $90,000 bag of bushings that you need for any jet turbine engine just to operate.
$90,000 for a Ziploc bag full of metal, not even a precious metal. Hell, even if none of that passes, I would settle for Congress to having to read the entire bill with everyone present before voting on it. Or you know what? Forget that. That's even setting the bar too high. Just read it at all. Because I think even in D.C., there's enough morality, which is saying something, that if some of these people actually heard some of the stuff out loud, if they heard it said, I think even members of Congress might think, wow, that actually doesn't sound so great. Rand Paul introduced S-328 a while back to require this. It failed. I mean, this is why my faith in government hovers somewhere between like 0 and -6. Nothing that supports us over Congress will ever pass, because Congress will never pass anything that hurts them. That's why they exempted themselves from FISA and the spying renewal. You want to look at my phone calls? No problem. You can do that, but if you're a member of Congress, go get a warrant. Oh, and you can't file a Freedom of Information Act against Congress. Congress exempted itself from Obamacare. Congress is allowed to discriminate against staffers for age. Funny that like half of the elected members are well past the retirement age. Congress and their staff were exempt from all kinds of COVID mandates. Even Snopes confirmed that one. This list is a mile long. Oh, you didn't think that we would notice? I did every day. And when we call these things out, we're the bad guys. The G-man says, oh, you're mad about that? Cool, we're just going to put you on this list over here. How do you feel about that? We don't care. We're told as a society that if we oppose anything that involves more government intervention and control, that that's somehow not patriotic. It used to be patriotic to question everything. But now, we can't question the science, we can't question the budget, we can't question our elected officials, we can't question anything anymore without being accused of either being unpatriotic, fascist, or domestic terrorist. And the one guy who is poised to actually do something about it, the Democrats have him tied up in 50 different courtrooms across the nation. It's time to drain the swamp.